Good morning, Colin.
Good morning, Michael.
How are you this morning?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I guess you're doing okay. You're missing school for this, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? And you're missing band practice, I hear.
Band. Yeah, it's band class, though, so it's not as fun as missing math, but there it is.
So you're not a math fan, huh?
No, not really.
No? You'd rather be playing piano. So, you are a youth ambassador for Arthritis Society of Manitoba. What exactly is what does a youth ambassador do?
Well, I was youth ambassador for the Walk to Fight Arthritis. So I was a spokesperson for the event. But I'm also just a spokesperson for the society in general. So I go around, I do speaking engagements, other events to help raise awareness about arthritis. I'm also part of the Arthritis Society's peer-to-peer support education program. So I do presentations to different groups, such as university classes, and the presentation informs them about how arthritis affects children, and that it does affect children in the first place, and also how they can help children cope with their disease and how to help them treat it. It teaches them warning signs and symptoms of arthritis so that if the child hasn't been diagnosed and they notice these symptoms, they can, give the parents a suggestion. Your child might have arthritis. Take them to your doctor, have them checked out, see, because early diagnosis is the key. If we can early diagnose a kid, it leads to early treatment, and early treatment means less chance of permanent disability from the disease, and we can help keep it under control.
You mentioned something interesting is that, when most people think of arthritis, they typically they picture, somebody in their 70s or 80s who's lived a life and they've had again, lived a long time and they've developed arthritis in an old age. And that is the case, often. However, it's not that well known that children can have arthritis. Tell me about, you were diagnosed at 19 months old. So
yeah.
What are some of the things that your mom, who's here in the studio, she's sitting over in the corner there, Doris. What are some of the things that sort of triggered her idea that maybe, or your parents' idea that you had arthritis?
Well, my mom noticed that I was the way I was walking wasn't normal. She noticed that I seemed, as she described it, I was walking like a 90-year-old man, and I was 18 months old when she first noticed. So my parents took me over to our general practitioner, and she took a look, and my mom had taken a recording of me walking, and she saw this recording and immediately said, "Okay, there's something not right. We have to get this." So she referred us to a rheumatologist,
mm-hmm.
and so after a series of tests and flights to Montreal and back, series of different tests and etc. Led to my diagnosis at 19 months that I had juvenile idiopathic arthritis.
So what's the next step once you've been diagnosed at that age? I guess at that age you're probably not fully aware of what the situation is. So what's the next step once that happens? And also, when did you become aware of having arthritis and maybe some of the things that interfered with in your life?
Well, after diagnosis, one of the first things was I was prescribed on methotrexate, which has a series of side effects which can be dangerous, such as permanent eye damage. It's really hard on organs like the kidney, liver, and stomach. Also, as far as effects on my childhood it was difficult to play sports. In gym class, we'd all get split into teams, and I'd go and I'd sit down and I'd have to watch. I wasn't able to participate with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
My friends want to go for a bike ride. I can't. It's too difficult. It's too hard on my joints. So a lot of times I was left out because I wasn't able to participate. And also when I was sitting out, a lot of kids would tease me. They think, you're not like just people in general thought I wasn't being honest. They thought I was just lazy or I just, was lying just because I didn't want to participate.
Mm-hmm. But
it really was an issue, and it took a lot of people a long time to believe. But a lot of people now are understanding now that they're more informed about it. Now that I've been able to do a lot more speaking events, so hopefully a lot more children will have a lot more understanding, teachers and even just friends now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy being just, an average child, I think. So having something that interferes necessarily in the everyday activities that most kids participate in would be difficult. But I guess, you've since, you take swimming lessons, you
Right.
Have your black belt in karate. So I guess you were able to show them, huh? That
Yeah.
you can pretty much do anything that...
I'm not lazy. That's one thing.
Well, not lazy, and let's talk about piano too, because piano has been one of the things that has helped you a lot with the arthritis in your hands, right? So you've been taking piano.
Yeah.
You mentioned off air since you were 5 years old.
Yeah, I've been taking piano for 10 years now. My mom originally thought it would be a good idea to get me into piano when my arthritis moved into my fingers and my wrists. It's a great therapeutic exercise. It's really good to ensure that you're still moving your fingers, because if you're not working with the joint that is affected by arthritis, then you can lose the motion in it. So my mom decided it would be good to enroll me in piano lessons. I already loved music. I liked, sometimes I'd sit down, I'd plink around, and I'd call it a song. And so she enrolled me in piano lessons, and that was great for my fingers and my wrists, just the therapy.
And when you're playing, do you feel your fingers loosening up as they play, or do they start out stiff and then?
Well, I get to practice, like at least once a week. I also play the keyboard for my school's jazz band, so I'm practicing, almost every day. So it's really good. I'm able to keep myself from the stiffness with how often I practice. So that really helps. But I mean, when I do feel the stiffness, piano right there. It's always sitting in our living room, so it's always there to help me with the stiffness.
And you're able to do it on your own without any pressure, probably from your parents at this point. Something you enjoy doing most of the time. Yeah. So, do you have a preference, classical or jazz?
I really like jazz music. Classical can be really interesting to play because there's such a variety, but I think my preference would be jazz music. Yeah.
But in the meantime, I note here that you have won the 2010 silver medal from the Royal Conservatory of Music.
Yeah, I took my piano exam, and so I was able to achieve the highest exam mark in the province. So I was acknowledged for that achievement. And
the Queen Elizabeth Diamond Jubilee Medal as well.
Yeah, that was for my work with the Arthritis Society, being my raising awareness and my helping to raise lots of funds for the Society's research and different programs.
So congratulations. That's classical music side of things. What about jazz? What's happening with your jazz side of things?
Jazz is mainly just in school. As I said, I'm the keyboard for my school's jazz band, so there's no one else in our grade who plays the keyboard and that's in our band program, so that's where I'm helping out there.
So what are your aspirations in when it comes to piano? Do you have any aspirations? Do you want to maybe after you graduate go to university and study, or
I might consider getting some minor in music, but my focus is on the sciences as far as after school goes.
Sciences,
yeah.
So music you might not follow in your family's
sister's footsteps. I might not follow, but I'll still play piano, for the therapy and for the for just the getaway to music kind of a feel.
You still have to take medication for the arthritis, or just?
Yeah, I started a flare up again recently, so I'm back onto my methotrexate. I take folic acid to prevent side effects from that. If I'm ever feeling like a lot of stiffness in a specific joint, I'll take a naproxen, which is an NSAID, a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, so that focuses on whatever joint is affected, and it reduces that stiffness and swelling.
Now, they say there is no cure for arthritis, but what kind of prognosis is there? I mean, is this the kind of thing you just sort of keep an eye on a daily basis, weekly basis, and go back to the doctors often?
You got to keep an eye on a daily basis, because every day it's up and down every day. Some days some days you're on, some days you're off. It's an off day. Every couple weeks or so, I got to go in for a blood test to check where everything is, to monitor it, to be sure that current pills you're taking is what you need to be taking, the current medicine, and just to keep it on track. It's a daily thing. It's because it's up and down. It's all over the place. It's really difficult to deal with.
Well, congratulations for all your successes, and wish you the best. And, continue playing piano, and look forward to hearing lots more from you. Maybe it'll be jazz, maybe it'll be classical.
Yeah.
And continued again, with your as youth ambassador. I guess once you get older, might go from youth to just ambassador for ambassador for the Arthritis Society of Manitoba. So thank you for coming in this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure. Now, before we go, I asked you beforehand, maybe there's one piece of music you'd like to not to play in the studio, because we have no piano, as you can look around. No piano in the studio, unfortunately.
Nothing.
But you requested to hear this particular work by Grieg. Tell us about it a little bit.
I enjoy the piece. It's a fun piece. Like I really like the suspenseful sound of it. It's fun to play as well in the piano. I found some sheet music for it, and I played around with it, and it's a really fun piece. I enjoy just the sound of it.
And what's the connection to Grieg? Why?
Well, my piano teacher. I take private piano lessons, and so he is the.
What's his name?
His name's Richard Grieg.
We have to give him a shout out here, Richard.
Yeah, he's a relative of Edvard Grieg's.
A relative?
Yeah.
Like how far down the chain of relatives?
Well, it's sorry if I'm wrong. It's I believe
no one
Edvard
will
was
dispute you. Don't worry.
Edvard was his great uncle. A few greats in there. I'm not sure exactly how many, but
great composer.
Yeah, there it is.
Well, thanks again, Colin.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You have a great day, and I guess you're back to school. So, and thank you to his mom Doris for bringing him by this morning. So here we have music by Edvard Grieg. This is something called "The Hall of the Mountain King."